Oh, looks like the windshield wipers came on when we charged this thing. I'm not sure if that was disabled by damage or electronic interference and it's only now able to come back on, or if I just pushed the button by accident while trying to flee in a panic. But look at all these displays and systems. God, it is so cool and immersive. Not only being in this beautiful world, but being able to climb into our vehicle, our lifeline, and see all these little systems. Be able to physically interact with them all. There we go. That should shut you off. But whatever, we've got work to do. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pacific Drive. Last time, we were inadvertently teleported straight into the zone after going off the path, which we kind of had to do, and met some folks who are already in here, who may have been in here for some time, and who don't really seem too worried about their situation. I, on the other hand, am, so they're trying to guide us out, but in order to do that, we're going to have to upgrade our car and our base so it can make it. There goes our scrapper. Hey, do you have another one for me? Oh, you do! You're consistent in that. Okay, well, if we time this thing to only lose it here, then maybe we won't have to craft any. I'm just trying to get all I can because I don't want to go on the road again without a complete vehicle. Let's make a crude panel. And just kind of stick you on back here, because panels just go anywhere, you know? We can also make ourselves a new headlight and place you in here. Well, the makeshift ones look a little different from the stock, but I'll be honest, for what we're doing, I kind of like this one a bit more. I wonder if we'll actually have some say in how this thing evolves physically, you know? Like, clearly this is a lower tier headlight, but what if we want it to look like a Mad Max vehicle? Now we just need a battery jumper, but we don't actually have what we need for that. Also, I've got to heal myself because I hit my head on the door. Again, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing that a lot. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like those vehicles down there are actually scrappable, which is a bit of a problem because we can't complete our kit with the battery jumper without some electronic parts, which we don't have, and that means we'll have to make that on the fly while we're on a run. We're going to have to start planning that run and just kind of hope we don't have issues. We did just charge ourselves, but if we do run into problems, we'll probably have to make a whole new battery as well.
Ready to make this Remnant verification a one-and-done thing? I'm sending you to visit Colossal Cappy. If that old anomaly doesn't induce electromagnetic resonance in your car, then we're free from Tobias's fever dreams and we can get you out of here. With that antenna fixed, you can now detect stabilized road junctions in the outer zone. You've got a stable route heading straight to Cappy's front door, but the energy readings are off the roof. I advise you not to take the zone lightly. You better gear up or you may not survive the trip. Which would make my life easier, so your call.
So, things have opened up before us considerably. We now have the ability to choose where we want to go, even to ignore parts of the story, or not ignore them, but, you know, simply put them on hold for a while. It also seems like some of these locations jump off of previous ones, which makes sense, of course. I'm gonna take this story job right now, and I'll worry about other ones later. I'm really concerned about some of these modifiers and conditions that show up. I'm not really sure what some of them are. It'll tell us once we go there. So we're still looking at perpetual stability, but we might not always have that certainty when we go in. The fact that that could be taken away from us means we're gonna have to get better at this in a big hurry, especially with a storm approaching. Let's be thankful we had this vehicle in front of us. God, one thing this game does really, really well is the weather. It feels so cozy being underneath this windshield while it's all pouring down like this. Makes it really feel like an adventure when we pull out of the garage. really hope this windshield doesn't give out on us. But let's go. Let's put our headlights on. Now, since we just arrived, I feel like I need to get a scan of you. I need to know what it is you're about, even if you're going to attack me. Abductor. Okay, let's climb into our vehicle and have a look at that.
Oh, you know what my favorite remnant was? The record player. You remember, Francis? You play records normally, but then every now and then you hear weird voices. Like that one time it was my 5th grade lunch lady.
This again.
You know, the sooner I get this out of my system, the sooner you can have some peace and quiet.
Fine.
Hey, atta girl. Oh, boy. Hey, driver, listen. Of all the legends, of all the stories that have spawned in the zone, trust me, there are so many. Remnants, one of the best.
I'll start from the beginning. In 1964, strange objects began appearing throughout the zone. They were shabby, cast-off things that were imbued with strange properties. A broken microwave that froze food instead of warming it. A rusty can of paint that produced every color in existence. Always so out of place that people were irresistibly drawn to them.
Yeah, you know, like a mysterious car in the forest, right?
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you guys about that. You seem to be taking a pretty lackadaisical approach to this whole thing, given what you've told us. It sounds really dangerous that we're even using this thing. But there should be a road up here, and hopefully we don't get flipped by more pillars.
Tobias mentioned that the remnants bind themselves to people, like the cars done with you, and how that led to obsession. These obsessions always started innocently, a sudden interest in model train sets or collecting old road signs. The objects themselves would exhibit anomalous properties, but what didn't in the zone, right? That in itself wasn't cause for alarm. But these fixations would only grow worse, until its victims could think of nothing else but the remnant. And they always ended with spiraling into madness and disappearing in a mad chase after something. Sorry, driver, it doesn't sound fun, but better to know what you're up against.
Could the remnants' victims still be out there somewhere? I mean, we never heard from them again, but it doesn't mean they all died, right?
If the madness didn't kill them, then the zone did. Anyway, it's been 20 years since the last remnant sighting. We thought they were long gone.
Until you found the car.
So, something about this has really been on my mind this entire time. Everything about us seems special. Everything seems unprecedented in the zone. Finding this car after 20 years of no remnants, being brought in here at all from outside the walls. I don't know, it just feels almost like we've been chosen, especially after what we heard last time about scientists being hostile to the idea of the zone being intelligent.
You're feeling the remnants' effects, driver. Have you been fixating on the car, maybe?
If only we knew where remnants came from. Then we'd have a place to start on how to help you. This is no typical anomaly.
Right, yeah. The anomalies we know, they're creepy, crawly, and weird. Like visible manifestations. The remnants were the only ones that wormed its way into your brain. There's something much, much more.
This whole area is extremely rough to navigate. So I was going to go to the left to see what's over there, but I think we have to start moving as quickly as possible because there is a lot of instability going on over there. Ooh, and we can maybe try and recover some energy from right there. Alright, yeah. If anything, the last part has made it clear that I need to be scavenging a lot more. Not just taking the bare minimum, but really all I can, so let's get out. And we're going to need this tool right here, right? Just gotta avoid your electricity. I really hope it gives me a flashlight at some stage. And smack. Oh wow, you're hitting me bad. You're hitting me bad. Okay, take the plasma, take all this stuff. Between scrapping that car in the yard and this, we should have a lot in our inventory, so we can just, hip, and hip. And we've got tons and tons of space. Make sure we back up before closing this, because we really need to make that into a habit. I should probably talk again about how this game isn't really what I expected in a lot of ways. I expected something much darker in tone, and I'm not necessarily disappointed that it's not. I don't know how I feel about being constantly accompanied by these voices, about having all this UI, about being so directed, you know? Because I was kind of expecting something probably a bit more open world, something a little bit more, I don't know, introspective. Now, we did manage to scan one of those abductor anomalies, so we're gonna have to read that once we manage to get our stop. What are you? Also, leave me alone, pillar. Pneumatic deposit box. Also nicknamed pneumatubes. The pneumatic tubes that crisscross the zone are low-tech, but that may well be why they've survived to this day. It seems the less complicated the technology, the less the zone is likely to scramble it and screw it up. Huh. So does that mean that we can, like, send things around or possibly receive things in this way? We could break all this down. Can I scroll down in the legend? You'll do that for me. A radar tower, or ARDA tower. Good, good. So we can probably get some electronics there and make our battery jumper to complete our kit. Alright, we're good to go then. Did you hear that? It sounded like the horn off of a ship or something. That's strange. But then again, strange kind of defines the zone, doesn't it? Okay, we've got a road obstruction. Can we make it around? And I imagine this stuff is probably what damages the wheels. We could make an exciting escape if we need to leave this way. And we could siphon some gas from this vehicle, potentially. I never really did that last part, so maybe we should. I've got this can on me. Hang on. I know we're stopping like every 2 seconds, but there's a locomotive engine just in the field there. I mean, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try to check this out, right? I'm hearing some very strange noises from this way. I'm seeing some very strange things on the horizon. Look at all that. It's like some storm that actually looks like it's picking up trees and stuff. Okay, well, I guess we probably don't want to get too near to there. God, I'm sorry, this game is so dark. I've turned up the brightness. Oh, hello, hello, hello. No, 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 you seem to be actively coming for me. Back to the car, back to the car, back to the car. I couldn't seem to interact with the engine at all, so that's okay. And you're leaving me alone. Oh, but we can see the instability. Alright, yep. Let's get a move on. Oh. I wish we could stick around, but this one is going to be a bit more active, it seems. Go, 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 go. Oh, that is growing quite rapidly. Alright, we might have to forget the exploration and just move on this time around. Oh man, I didn't even see that. Keep going, keep going. Radar station should be just on our right. We'll be quick and mindful, especially since that little trailer is all you are. Alright, put it in park. And let's go. So that was probably the noise, not the storm. Flare, flare, flare. Oh, I don't have a flare. Come on. I should always keep one on me. Locked. Maybe we can use the pry bar. There we go. Take all of you. And, ooh, a backpack. And now we have... Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, we need to break you down, I think. Lab computer, don't care. I need electronic scrap. Thank you. What else? What else? Oh, it's so dark even over here. Yes, all this. Rubber, fabric, all of it. And whatever's in this crate. Go. Now this is Apocalypse scavenging, being hurried along like this. I'm so glad we had this indicator, or I would never even know it until it's way too late. And thankfully... Oh... This doesn't work how I thought it did. It actually is like a storm. It moves around rather than constantly expanding. Alright, well that is a very good bit of understanding to observe right here. But for now, let's move on and accomplish our objective. Knowing that, though, I'll be a lot more willing to stick around and do stuff. It's also good to know where you guys are. You don't seem to move around. Alright, we're gonna play nice. I'm guessing the fact that these are down means I have enough energy from those orbs. And now we have a choice, but we can go to here. Destination achieved. Hang on. Oh, look, there's... I wonder if that would have acted as a conduit for whatever spread throughout the zone.
Sierra. Never wanted to think about this place ever again. Head toward town. Colossal Cappy is smack dab in the middle of where Sierra used to be. You can't miss it.
One thing that's interesting about this zone compared to others is the fact that this all is seemingly man-made. Well, at least whatever started it, it seems like it's been doing pretty much whatever it wants since then. But what we're looking for should be just a little further up the road a ways.
Is there a reason you're driving straight towards the largest honking anomaly in the zone?
You wanted to know if there's a speck of remnant energy in that car? This is how you do it.
You're using Cappy to amplify the remnant signal. That's insane.
Well, we don't have much choice, do we? And at this point, I'm willing to do just about anything that gets me out of here. Although, I can't help but think maybe you guys encounter your own remnants at some point, something that drove you to go deeper into the zone and stay here.
Well, they'll be fine.
It's not fine. Look at those radiation spikes that Colossal Cappy's still giving off after all these years.
To achieve any sort of resonance, the driver's going to have to get right up against Cappy.
I get you, Francis, but Oppie's got a point. Any remnant energy lingering in the car is too weak to detect with conventional methods.
Really? You're gonna take her side?
This isn't about sides. It's a good plan.
I won't risk someone's life just so we can log another remnant sighting.
The driver can make their own decision. I'm not forcing them to do anything. For all I care, they can lay down and wait until the instability takes them. That would get them out of my hair much faster than all of these shenanigans.
Look at those lights moving along that bridge or overpass. It all curves upward like a ramp into that anomaly, but looking at them, it's like traffic never stopped flowing straight through. And I can see what looks like a gas station down there, so we're winning in all kinds of ways. Look at all of you. It's like all of you are raising a fist at the sky in some kind of praise or maybe bargaining. And there's you trying to escape and being smote down, I guess. At least that's my read. More of you in the shadows over here. God, you're creepy. We're really gonna have to make more use of our car's headlights at times, I think. I mean, I took issue with just how dark the shadows are, but maybe that's a good thing. You know how I like my artificial illumination, and coming to rely on it. Okay, I guess we're getting out of the car again. Because I need to log what you are. Shaker. Taken from the dictaphone of Dr. Kelly Lombard, February 12th, 1969. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to remember our esteemed, honored, and oh-so-kind colleague, Eric Gordon. Taken from us far too soon, Eric was a shining light in our lives. Let us remember him for his achievements, his humor, and his grace. Let us remember him how he lived, and not how he died. Propelled as he was 600 feet into the air by a sudden blast of hot, corrosive slime. I know our hearts are all so heavy today, we only wish Eric could have also been heavier, and thus not flown quite so far. What am I saying? Yeah. Well, anyway, the moral of the story is avoid these things. Which is the moral of the story for a lot of things. Yeah, no, I take back some of what I said. I enjoy the darkness when we go around a bend and see our headlights swerve over the environment in front of us. Have I mentioned this is a pretty game? Because I'm going to be mentioning it probably about 600 more times before this is all over. Still got to read about these abductors. But for best maintenance practices, we want to stay on the road as much as possible, not just rush towards where we're going. Okay, so we're backing up, we're backing up, we're backing up, we're backing up. Clearly you've got a gatekeeper, some sort of defense mechanism. And let's get out and see what we're dealing with. Was that just for the car, or will you trigger when we get a little closer? Nope, you just don't want our car getting in there. And yet, look at our objective. Glittering boulder. Transmission fragment, ARTA Dispatch Headquarters, April 26, 1964. Hey, this is Anna. I'm totally going so fast right now. Oh no, oh no. It's happened again. Just out collecting some data from the weather stations, and oh no. There are these new things out there, and oh, help. If you touch them, oh no. Hold on, Charlie. Look, I'm not an engineer or a physicist. I'm a meteorologist, but my guess is these things are discharging huge amounts of energy into whatever they touch, and when they hit a car, you totally go fast. Okay, that was really aggravating to read, and I hope it was aggravating to listen to. But we should also, while we're here, check out the abductors. Dear Maggie, once again, I miss you and the kids so much. I'm sorry I haven't written sooner, but it's just been so crazy out here. I have a few moments right now, so I figured it would be good to put pen to paper. I hope you don't mind the handwriting being so wiggly, but me and the guys are in a bit of a pickle right now. You see, our van got pulled up into a tree. I'm afraid I can't explain exactly what happened, top secret things and all, but we're safe. Trust me on that. We also have 2 hours to wait before rescue comes, hanging 50 feet above the ground and right on a ridge. I'll send this as soon as we get back to barracks and write a much better letter. In the meantime, here's a picture. I sketched it out while we were waiting. If there's one thing we have up here, it's a heck of a view. Love always, Joe. That told us absolutely nothing. Although it looks like things can be scanned more than once. I mean, look, we've got a whole list of things down on the bottom right. Okay, so this make us go fast might actually be a good thing. We won't know until we try. As dumb of an idea as it seems, we're all about taking dumb advice these days. Oh no, now you're even more of a leap of faith. Do you want us to ramp this thing? Alright, well, before we do that, let's fill up where we can. And perhaps loot this gas station. The last one, we didn't really have quite so much luck because there was so much radiation. But let's always start with the essential thing first. We do not want to be stranded if we have to leave in a hurry, which it doesn't look like is going to happen. But again, just preparedness. There's just something about getting out of your car in this kind of environment and refueling by the flickering lights. It reminds me of every road trip ever in a good way. Ooh, we've got off-white paint, an ideal shade for those worried about causing offense. Yeah. But that's cool. We actually can paint our vehicle. I just can't see a thing. Anomaly safety. Apply boot evade. Well, I had the ability to hit. I don't think that sounds like a good idea for most of these instances, although maybe we could try it on a relatively safer one. You know, like the pillars. Famous last words, huh? A vending machine. The record player. Take a message with you into the zone, because who knows who you might be able to reach, and what could ever be better than genuinely connecting with those around you? After all, that's how inspiration happens. Store and equip at detailing station. Okay. Ooh, and there's a building over here as well. Having some health on us is certainly a good thing. Especially given how much we lost before. Ooh. This looks like a special sealy kind of door. Okay, well, this random message that we found says we should try and ramp it, so I tend to be a trusting type from what we've seen thus far. Oh god, I hope this works. Whoa! Yep, that did something for us. Whoa! That really didn't. I think we just knocked out a headlight. Note to self, make sparing use. Oh god, this is really screwing with our electronics. Maybe we should move away a bit. Yeah, no, our lights are totally out. Shouldn't we be going up a bridge in order to reach you? Yeah, no, we're totally blind. And this does not look good whatsoever. Creepy overpass. Good place to stop and maybe do some repairs. Alright, let's do this. I swear I just heard a breath in my ear. Okay, we cannot get a flare out fast enough. Come on, no. Yes. And we'll, no, probably... Oh, we can... Yeah, okay, no, I'm not liking these sounds. No. Oh, I was gonna do stuff here. I was trying to do stuff here. Come on. We need more battery. What happened to stability? Hang on, dibs on these song lyrics. Move. Yeah, something tells me this is actually the best light we're gonna get. And we are in rough shape after all that. We really should not have succumbed to the temptation to test out that anomaly, even if maybe it is useful knowledge for later. Now, we can make ourselves a battery jumper. There we go. Single use, too. Wow. That was all our 9-volt. Alright, where's this battery? Over here? Rejuvenate. Oh, it doesn't even do the whole thing. But maybe now we can turn our headlights back on? Yes, excellent. Alright, clearly we need more of a plan. And I'm pretty sure the side of the bridge that actually takes you to the anomaly is this one right here. So we want to come around and up this road. That's going to be a lot more precarious roadways, especially in this rain. But if we hit this on the way down, we can get this guy here. Whoa. Just noticed these crates and the way they're stacked. That doesn't seem natural. Neither do a lot of things. At a certain point, we're going to be forced to drive through these guys. And then we'll see just what happens. Okay, thankfully that time has been pushed back a little bit. You know, I kind of wish these waypoints would also show as, like, a path on the map, and not as something literally floating in front of me in space. Speaking of things floating in front of me in space... Hang on. I want to believe. What is that up there? Well, I hope we don't find out. By which I mean I hope we do. And I hope it's really funny. But yeah, one consistent thing that I'm noticing is that, like, this game's got the vibe, like, amazingly so. But it kind of gets in its own way in a lot of ways. Around you. I can hear scariness off to my left. Let's get this thing and move on. Yep. Oh my! Were you guys there a second ago? I didn't even see. There we go. Oh, no, it's you. It's you. These things are here. These things are affecting the mannequins as well. But let's not forget to close that. Alright, you leave me alone pretty quickly, so long as I get back in the car or run away. So that's good to know. You could have been much tougher. I actually just saw what looked like a stoplight attached to you. Are you an amalgam of different things you were able to find around here? Scavenged parts? Or are you just imitating things found in the zone? Alright, we have desperately got to heal. This isn't even going to give us that much, I think. Yeah, this one is a lot tougher than the last one. And it's not even that it's necessarily like that much more difficult, it's just, it's really throwing us in deep here. But now what we're going to want to do is find our way to this road right here. So to U, that'll be our next intersection, and from there we can just kind of keep right and hopefully end up where we're going. Okay, so what we need right now is to make our way past this unholy procession, like some great crowd wandering down the road en masse for who knows what reason. But this is the way to go, and if we can make it through this rather rough terrain, which at least the card doesn't seem to be considering too bad, man, it's when you go off-road like this that the car physics are really allowed to shine. And this whole time, we're sort of swirling around this central point. No matter where we are trying to navigate to this thing, we can always clearly see it, it seems. And every time I do, I get a little pit in my stomach trying to imagine what's going to happen when we finally get there. We've got 2 out of 3 experts saying that this is a good idea, so that's potentially something. Alright, from here, I believe we don't need more waypoints. We should be able to just keep right, provided we get out of here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. The zone is a place of many hazards, truly. But most of them are pretty straightforward. Don't touch the thing. Still gotta get a scan, though. Sizzling mist. Memo, Dr. Lopez, December 2nd, 1965. Addendum. You were right. The presence of concentrated plasma particles is what makes the cloud so conductive. This isn't a storm like an electrical storm, like we'd expect to find in the skies above, and we do well to stamp out such colloquial descriptions. No, this is something else. Something both more intense and yet also so much more localized. I think with a little time, it'll be quite possible for us to replicate some of this behavior in a lab setting, budget permitting. God, isn't this exciting? Our research is finally paying off. We'll get tenure for this for sure. I wonder to what extent research is still ongoing. I mean, it was said that all this stuff was abandoned. Seems like the goal now is just containment, but maybe that's not entirely the case? Now's where we're gonna see if this was actually the right way to go. God, it's always a trip to turn a corner and see these towering structures out there, isn't it? But no. We are, in fact, not where we need to be. But we can probably make our way down the hill to where we're going. It'll be a rough ride, but probably a fun one. So you get in there, and you in there. Well, let's probably damage our car to the point of needing these things by heading downhill. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, let's not even use gas. Let's just let gravity do its thing. Just like it did with this truck, apparently. Yep. Ow. Bump. Bump. Ow. Oh, it's not just a bridge. They set up a whole research station here. Well, now that we're here, we may as well have a look around, right? No reason to rush our own inevitable demise.
Car's still not close enough to Cappy.
What now?
How about, launching the car into Cappy's core?
I'm sorry. What?
It's simple. The driver jumps the car into the heart of the anomaly, and if I time it right, I'll open the gateway and extract them.
And if you don't?
I've run some calculations. I think it should be fine. Anyway, it's like they always say, what's an experiment without some risk of total annihilation?
Who says that exactly?
In no way, shape, or form should we be doing this.
Well, but you know, if it's the only way, you got this kid for it.
I think I might take a moment to myself before doing that. Also, I think I'm starting to see where Oppie gets her name from. Alright, let's have a procrastinatory look around. We've got our pry bar. I get the feeling there's a lot we can learn from a place like this. We're also probably going to want a flare. SSR meeting minutes number 1. Is that something we're able to look at and read? Distract an anomaly with a light source. What do you mean, game? Game, what do you mean? I hear something out there. Maybe we should start the jump sooner? We probably have to go in here to lower those gates, right? But yeah, as I was saying, I do like the core gameplay loop. I just think it maybe breaks a little too often, you know? Like, I would like some more time on the road. Maybe that'll change as we go. Hello, priceless artifact. I need electronic scrap. Transmuter. What does the transmuter do? Please find attached the installation plan of these newer compact limb converters, along with my resignation from ARDA, effective immediately. It has become the favored pastime of my peers to gripe about the youth of today, but I find myself sentimental. Maybe the next generation will be the ones to right our wrongs. Their bright-eyed, bushy-tailed optimism reminds me of the early days, when we thought limb technology's potential limitless. This machine is a step towards that original vision, where limb bridges the gap between the materials given to us and our imagination. So this was some major leap forward in material science, I suppose. Well, you made a leap forward, I'll give you that. So say if I wanted to actually use said transmuter. Pry bar equals lead platelet. Okay, well, you are very low on energy, so we might as well put you in. And then, how do we... It just kind of spat the thing out again. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that was supposed to do exactly. Like, is it supposed to turn it into something? Do I also need the other thing? Whatever, we've got horrors to attend to. Imagine if one of those yellow anomalies was in the way. That would make this friggin' sweet. And honestly, the only thing that could reassure me in this time is the assurance that it would be friggin' sweet. I guess it will be from Oppie's perspective. The other two are just kind of watching in horror, even the one who's confident. What the heck? Let's go. Hopefully we can build up some speed on the way in. Taking not insignificant damage along the way. Oh, there is. We just heard something right before we went through!
Cappy fried my transmission systems. Thought I lost you for a moment.
Your transmission
It all worked
systems.
out, didn't it? The gateway got you out, and it looks like the ARC device is still intact with all the data it's recorded from your drive. And my plan worked. Cappy amplified the car signal and it matches. Looks like Tobias and Francis found their remnant after all. Unfortunately, what they've been saying is true. The remnants drive their victims mad. Maybe that car, having sat dormant for this long, will give you a little more time. Sorry, I don't have better news for you. I'm still game to get you out of here. The faster you leave, the longer you'll have to enjoy the rest of your sanity. None of the routes you've mapped so far leads to a way out. Why don't you head back out and chart some more? You can get in touch with Tobias and Francis while you're out there. Have you found the friendly dumpster yet? It's behind the shop. If you're ever in dire need, pay it a visit. As much as the zone takes away, sometimes she also provides.
Vargas Autovac. What do you do? Oh, I see. You probably pick up whatever's on the floor around the place. Prevents us from making a mess of it. Alright, let's close you. And only when we've closed everything does the sound of the storm sort of subside. God, even the interior is just so atmospheric. That is so cool. Coming in here and licking our wounds, repairing our car, while it all patters off the roof on top of us. Repair putty does seem to work on you, and it's fairly cheap, so there's actually no reason not to make a whole bunch of it. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on the map. Wow, that place we just were is looking extremely extreme right about now. Maybe we don't want to head back for a little while. Back at the fabrication station, we need just a few gears, and we can build the matter deconstructor. Energy efficient, economical, and probably even ethical. The matter deconstructor will recycle car components in seconds. Do be careful not to get your hand caught in the suspension matrix. Hands only. And you're gonna have to help us out. Where do we put this? Our capabilities continue to grow, and for some reason, everything in the zone is made out of stargates. Well, how do we do this? Well, we could throw in this pry bar and see what happens. And then we get some scrap metal out of it, and duct tape. Okay, so it basically just reduces something to its components. This is always the moment when a freeform game opens up before you. The moment when the voices stop tutorializing and the indicators stop showing up. And we're just left to our own devices. It's a strange, exciting world out there, and I can't wait to learn more about it. So, let's get out there. And I think we move a little bit to the west. Over there it says dark. Given the cross through the eye, maybe it's even more dark than we can imagine. But hey, we've got a battery jumper, so it's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna be fine. Back roads, remote damp forest of the outer zone. Well, things seem fairly quiet so far. Let's have a look at our map and see what points of interest we should be heading towards. It seems pretty sparse, actually. So where should we go first then? Well, there's a building at this intersection, and if we go a little beyond, we can grab one of these things from the forest. Then again, it may be better to make a left. This one's right by the road, and it seems like the buildings are a little more dense. Let's do that. Maybe we can speed ourselves up a bit as well. You know, every time I see these specks floating on the air, I think it's a flock of birds at first.
Holy moly, you kidding me right now? Uppy, you saw it too, didn't you? Tell me you saw it too.
Saw what?
What do you mean, what? Hallucinations, like the ones from 1961. It happened again, just a quick blip, like blinking your... Wait, you didn't see it?
I was in a total blackout. Colossal Cappy fried my systems.
Right, because sending the driver headfirst into Cappy didn't work out like you said it would. Big surprise.
Oh, spare me, Francis. The driver's alive and your remnants verified. Isn't that all you wanted? Now, why are you two yapping about the mass hallucination?
When Cappy amplified the remnant signal, it triggered another hallucination event. But it only lasted 3 seconds this time. And not only that,
We picked up that its source was northwest of us. Specifically,
Yeah, somewhere in the deep zone.
That's impossible. It's been
40 years.
It seems like the zone is doing a lot of things it hasn't done in a long time. Which suggests that something pretty major has changed, don't you think? Honestly, I'm with you on wanting to do science right now because that's potentially a big deal. Especially it grabbing us from outside the perimeter like it did.
And that's not all. This hallucination wave that triggered, we picked up its waveform. And turns out it's equal and opposite to the Remnant's waveform. They're paired signals. It means they're related. And what's more, if we bring that car to whatever this mass hallucination source is, we have a chance of nullifying the Remnant and breaking its bond with the driver. A simple destructive interference.
This is insane! After all this time, we find a Remnant, a lead on the mass hallucinations of 61, and a possible way to free the driver? Pitch me, Francis, because this is the best thing that's happened in decades. Just when things were getting dull.
the remnants. It was a key to the mass hallucination. This whole time.
Yes, and you nearly destroyed it.
I need to go.
This is huge, Francis! We have so much work to do.
I know. I've already pulled every report on the mass hallucination event. Driver, listen, you stay safe out there. We'll report back to you once we've gone through all of this data. There's a lot of it. And be careful. Oppie's not in her right mind, okay? So, watch yourself.
Cool, more things that you're really excited about and I have no context for. So, seems really important. I don't know if anything happened to me, unless that voice we heard right before we went through the anomaly was part of it. In any case, I guess there are friendly dumpsters out here as well. Hadn't realized that. But we are probably going to want to make a left. Yeah, down and back up. Things seem fairly calm here. You know, I really don't trust it to last, but I'll enjoy this calmness while I can, because it seems like as soon as we're done exploring on our own time, they're already fixing us to do something crazy again. You look like an interesting vehicle. I feel like I can't go 2 feet without having to stop for something, though. Arda Investigator. I think the reality of so much work, even the work that is about our dreams and our ambitions, the kind of work we put so much of our time and energy into, is compromise. My hope was that we could create practical, reliable mobile laboratories to allow us to better do our jobs. With the zone increasingly unstable, increasingly changing, I thought it was a novel solution. We could analyze many of our findings on site. We could respond to changing conditions in a timely manner. relocating ourselves to study new weather behavior or anomalies the moment we heard about them. We could work in a safe, secure environment. But now we have this. Slow, clumsy trucks that perform poorly off-road, that lack a dedicated laboratory space, that aren't even hermetically sealed. The lead shielding built into them is too thin. The equipment we've mounted is too old. Budget constraints and compromise mean we've created nothing more than a portable chemistry set. What's more, Arda have named it the Investigator, like they chose the driest name they could think of. And all this we'll have to do. So it's the ambition and excitement of career researchers, along with the bureaucracy of government. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, let's take all we can. Even the pry bar. And stow it in our trunk. Well, it may have just been a mobile chemistry lab, but now it's a whole lot more than that, at least to us. Put you all away. And you know what, screw it, let's put the putty away as well. We don't really need it right now. Also, to what extent do I need to be afraid of you guys? Some of you glow red in the dark. Can I take that to mean that you'll explode if I try and crash through you? There's so many things that I'd like to try regarding some of these anomalies, but I just feel that doing so would be a poor idea. Those blips in the dark may as well be eyes staring back at us from the trees. Oh wow, we are actually pretty low on fuel. I hadn't realized we had gotten that low. You're a new anomaly. Hang on, I'm probably gonna have to head back at this rate, would be the smartest thing to gas up, but what is going on with you there? Left, right. Yes, sir. We lost total control, sir. Veered off the road and straight into a house full of squatters. Sick, sir. It's like something just took control of the truck. Screwed it all up and sent it every which way. No, sir. Only Jackson, who probably has a broken wrist. Everyone else is fine, while all these squatters only seem a little scared. So there were people living in here for a while. Well, sir, the thing is, we actually think they're foreign. They're dressed kind of strangely. They have hats and flannel shirts. Canadians? But I thought Canada was north of Seattle. Victoria? Who's she? Oh, I see. Well, if we can get a translator on the line, I'm sure we can work that out very fast. I mean French, sir. But I thought that Canadians spoke French. Miller dated Canadian, and she spoke French. Oh, I see. Well, I'll try that now. Okay, we can't stay here. We can't stay here, we have to back up. Oh. Yep, not good, not good, not good. Turn us around. I'd go straight forward, but we need the gas. Alright, forget the dense structures for looting then. There is a quicker way if we go back. Right, let's see how far this hose can stretch. Far enough. Farther than you would anticipate. But being able to get all of that back is a huge help. You know, it's weird to say, but one of my favorite parts of road trips is just looking at the map and trying to figure out the best method of navigation. And I actually kind of think we have to go back that way because, look, the road is completely out this way. Some kind of rail crossing, I guess? Or maybe it's a dirt road that runs under a bridge. You know what? What are we playing this for if we're not going to find out? Yep, there's another one of those things. Something which I guess will act as the vehicular equivalent of slipping on a banana peel. Oh? No, not a dirt road, a tunnel. But it doesn't look like we'll be able to get in there. It's another one of those sealed doors. The kind that usually denotes radiation nearby. I swear, tunnels will never not be creepy. But I guess they do form a brief respite, a nice shelter. Oh. And there's a new type of anomaly again, it seems. Okay, pick up the pace, go around. And don't spend any more time in there than you absolutely need to. You know what? I'm feeling the need. Oh, we might as well do this, right? Okay. This will probably have the best results if we can gain as much momentum as possible. So let's start from this back area here. Oh, there's a couple more of those abductors. And start building up. Yep! Yeah, okay, we missed that one, but you know what? It's honestly probably for the better. I wanted to steer into it, but I was worried that I would take off too fast. Okay, but we actually got an achievement for reaching 88 miles an hour, which is kind of funny. Let's see what's going on with this shack over here. There's a light on, which must mean hospitality. Okay, things just took a turn for the slightly spooky. Well, it looks like you had a toolkit of your own. I find it so interesting learning that people actually stayed here after things ended, but judging by their surprised tone, who knows? Like, you said that they seemed foreign. Is it possible that the zone actually brought people from even further away than just immediately beyond the wall? All useful stuff, but you would think we would be able to get something out of a fire extinguisher, right? Maybe we should continue reading that log from before. Meeting minutes, September 16th, 1949. This goes all the way back. Celebration of the founding of SRR. What our future will look like. By Ophelia Turner. Open ideation session with consultation from Dr. Ophelia Turner on experimental setups. Arising concerns. Proper safety procedure. Handling and protection in limb experimentation. Action items. Society agreed to regular monthly meetings on Friday evenings. Dr. Reginald Stanley Robinson to take notes and format future minutes. AOB and manners arising. Oh, it started to rain, you know? I had a creepy little moment there where I was reading the celebratory nature of that note, and I started to hear the patter of rain on the roof as, like, the echoes of thunderous applause. Okay, well, that just means it's time for us to get going. And no reason we can't get going in style, right? These are the most arcadey thing, and I love them. Oh, something was appearing on our left there. Of course, we do always have to worry about control. Speaking of, one of those points we need to get through the gate is over on our left, so we should make a pit stop there before moving on. It's a bit farther than what it seemed. Okay, let's do this with maximum planning. Okay, I think you guys need a different scan. I think you're actually a variant of some kind. I meant to close you again, but I always mix up the hold and tap. Yep, you didn't like that. That got your attention. Well, trying to get back in the car right now would seem foolish. How far do we need to go to lose you? Oh, wait, you... That device you're dragging along the ground, is that some kind of magnet? No, you've left something. I get the impression you're like some kind of mine. But I also feel like I need to learn that. Oh, you're very radioactive. Happy hair. If I pick you up, how's our rads? How's our rads? It's not inherent to you. Oh. Oh. That is odd. Okay, let's put you away and figure out... Oh, your hands only. We cannot store you. Okay, we really need to read what you're about. In the meantime, Chuck. You'll come and pick it up. But only move at a short distance. Alright, we definitely have to learn what that's about. Happy hair. Over the past year, I've seen anomalies cause all manner of chaos. I've seen them dismantle artificialities, dissolve trucks into puddles of goo, even tear human beings apart. I've seen the fruits of our labors turn one of the prettiest parts of the country into one of the most dangerous and unpredictable. But this week, I saw the first sign that things might change. I caught a rare glimpse of hope. Perhaps not everything we unleashed here in this gigantic cosmic accident has been bad. We've logged several sightings of a new anomaly. At first sight, it matches the description of so many others, but this one is different. It actually repairs things, apparently seeking out damaged material and regenerating it in a way not dissimilar to some of our own prototype technology. It's benign, even friendly, and I'm starting to wonder if it even communicates. Very, very interesting. Okay, we need to go find you again. Especially since one of our rear panels is actually completely destroyed now. Well, it doesn't seem like we can use you with this. Oh, you've gotten yourself snagged, have you? But I guess you know to let go after a certain point. You, Mr. Glowy Boy, you're not actually scannable. Remember, we don't have a real objective to accomplish here, but to scavenge as much as we can, and more importantly, learn as much as we can. The happy hair repairs, but I still don't know quite how to do that. But, never mind, we're actually driving straight into it now. And that's going to make things more difficult. We actually are going to have no route back. We may have to go straight in. I don't know how long we can actually survive in this craziness. But even if we can't stop, I think the only way out is going to be through. Seismic squall. Alright, well, now would not be a good time to stop. I think we learned what a seismic squall is. Alright, if we just take it slow, we'll probably be okay. It seems appropriate to hit that ramp right now, but that's not taking it slow. Honestly, the dirt road is doing us some favors. Yeah, no, just about every Earth anomaly is throwing up right in front of us, and we're driving right through the seismic storm. Thread the needle. And even if we're not exactly in a safe area, let's try and make this quick. We need this, remember? This isn't optional. Grab it. Throw it in. I said throw it in. Happy hair. Okay, oh, there's a whole bunch of you. Alright, we don't have time, though. We don't have time. We don't have time. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. This is hurting us badly. This is hurting us badly. Avoid the things. Oh, we're out of the unstable region. Yet all that is back there. Now maybe we can even get back on track. We just had to run through that anomaly a little bit, and yep, you're just doing whatever you please.
My usual route when I ran into one of those spiky leech anomalies. I was thinking, what about trying to capture one? I just need to build a trap. Shouldn't be too hard. Got one spare pipeline around here.
Man, voices from the past just coming through our radio. Which kind of leads me to wonder, like, if these people are really gone. I mean, clearly that sounds like some sort of recording. To use the word remnant would be kind of irresponsible here when it already means something else so significant, but I don't know. There's got to be something to that, right? If we don't have a body, we don't really know they're dead. This seems like a bad way to go, though. Yeah, in fact, everything looks really bad about this. Tell you what, let's hit this one all the way down there. There you are. And we've got to put the pedal to the metal. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Don't worry about your health. There's infinite health back at base. Oh, it may not be a rainstorm, but it sure does look and feel like it. Bump. God, it's like being a storm chaser sometimes out here. Which I guess we sort of are when we want to get more information on anomalies, aren't we? Right past you. Sorry I wrecked your world up a little bit. Please don't try and catch me right now. I've got someplace to be. Imagine if one of these things came through with us. Gateway. We made it.
I owe you an apology. I screwed up. I nearly got you killed. The things I used to calculate as easily as turning a screwdriver, they're foggy now. The numbers don't work themselves out like they used to. I haven't been myself for a long time, but I haven't needed to be. It's been me and this cursed place I created and nothing else for decades. But now, knowing that whatever caused the mass hallucination is still out there, I need to know what it is, and why the remnants are connected to it. Francis was right about the remnant and the mass hallucinations paired signals. If we can get them together, maybe they'll cancel each other out and you'll be free. It's a shaky theory at best, but it's the only lead we've got for now. You can do nothing, twiddle your thumbs until that remnant drives you mad. Or, if you're willing to work with me, I'll give you the best chance to survive this thing. Think it through. And fix up your car while you're doing it. You'll need to for whatever you decide from here.
I'm sure I will.
Are you making use of my fabrication station to fix up that junker? You should while I'm still in the mood to allow it. And there's the test track behind the garage, if you need to take anything for a spin.
Is there now? Ah, that is interesting. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm missing things, but I just feel like it's throwing so many things at me all the time that although the gameplay loop itself is fairly simple, I'm just like overwhelmed by a million different like logs and objectives and UI, just UI everywhere. One way we can work through all this UI is to start getting some of these objectives done, even if they are not really what I need to be doing right now. But we need to unlock some blueprints. I don't care about painting my car until we get some actual upgrades in. Expanded locker. Well, we'll definitely need that. Improved antenna. Detailing station. It wants us to build it. I'm not sure it's really worth the cost at this point in time. Oh, and there's the fax machine. Alright, how do we start working with better parts? Let's build the detailing station. I mean, it wants us to do it right now. It really wants us to be focusing on cosmetics for some reason. Doesn't seem the time for it. Yeah, boop. Wow, we are getting the whole Pride rainbow unlocking here. Although I imagine that's probably because they were part of like probably like a DLC or something. Alright, wow, look at all of this. Ah, and now it seems, yeah, we can select you and then do you whatever. Installed. Ah, so this is how we mess with you. You're a bobblehead. And if we get inside... There you are! That is so cool! Alright, I really like that. Hang on, wait. Okay, we gotta do some more then. Maybe the game was right in directing us towards the cosmetics. We can also store you things in here. There we go. And we've also added a couple of bumper stickers, mainly because seeing these will cause certain people to froth at the mouth with rage at the mere sight of them, and I think it's good if those people are just kind of upset all the time. And not that they needed any help from me. Looks like one of our wheels could use some help.
If you're ready to do this with me, here's a spot of good news. We aren't completely helpless when it comes to the instability. Back when the zone was active, we built ways to get where we needed to go. I need you to head back towards Serum. But don't worry, I won't make you jump into Cappy again. When you're feeling up for it, take the route back to Serum. I'll tell you what's next once you're there.
I wonder if we can get here from this space on the right.
Hallucination. I can't believe it happened again. I can't believe I missed it.
Maybe it's because we went through the anomaly. What if we can just get through there really quickly, no stable exits? I think we kind of have to try this other place. I don't know if we have a choice at this moment. I don't know, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, but we've just got to go for it. Let's not forget to heal. Look at our little Leica bobblehead bouncing up and down. Ah, it's so much fun. Let's head out and do what we actually always were supposed to be doing, which is mapping the zone out. We've got something in our way, something that dynamically appeared, and now we've got to find an alternate route. One which the map isn't going to tell us about. We've got to go for it and just assume that by moving in this direction, we'll find something. In a lot of ways, this game is much more arcadey than I was hoping for. But in that, it's actually even maybe a little bit more open. And you've always got to appreciate these moments where we can just kind of take a normal-ish Pacific Drive, even while avoiding the road hazards that this thing has deposited in our way. That sign warns of a deer crossing.
Oh, and about those anomalies. I don't recommend you spend much time around them. Unless you've got a death wish, in which case, be my guest. When we're all dead and gone, and limb technology but a footnote in the history books, the anomalies will remain. They're the legacy of our work here, and the Olympic Peninsula belongs to them now.
You speak as if there is intelligence. As if it's some kind of evolution on life. I mean, scientists were upset at talking about this thing this way, but it seems like you were standing out from the pack. If that wasn't already clear from your personality. Alright, let's start loading up on these guys. Which I imagine carries over from when it's time to leave other places, right? I don't imagine we're going to be climbing back into Cappy again. One thing I wanted to say is that I saw a deer crossing sign back there. I was going to muse about how this place likely hasn't seen any such fauna in quite some time, but maybe it's meant to be foreshadowing for something. In any case, there's actually a couple of these things right across the street from each other when we get further down. So what is that about? I don't know if I've seen them grouped that closely together before. More of these geysers. Let's find out what's going on here. Oh, there's a couple more pipes reaching into the ground. I wonder if there's any reason to come over here. Like, I really get the impression with how many of these things we're finding that these pipes are going to have something to do with all that's going on here. They're also radioactive. Another investigator. Alright, we really want to move quickly on this, though. There's a lot of good stuff here, including some stuff we may not have seen before. Circuit board. Go, go, go. Grab you. Back to car. We're gonna need to eat some canned food before long. Open up and get in there. We already have more than what we need, but it's good to always have more than what we need because you never know when you're not going to be able to find what you need at a critical moment. Yeah, boop. And we can do a little bit more scrapping here, I think. You're going to make this a little bit more difficult. Do you have another one of those hairs for me? Like I said, I'd really like to learn how they work. We could try attaching one to the car as well, just like throwing it at it. Let's get a move on. Ooh. I hadn't even noticed this fog starting to fall over us. Now we're a spooky Pacific Drive. Well, might as well indulge in it. Let's not ruin the mood by getting out again so soon. Alright. Oh, so in order to unlock routes beyond this, do we need to escape through a portal again? Is that how this works? There's some instability moving in. This would be an unideal environment to try to run through. So let's, hang on, let's put it in park. We might as well salvage what we can, right? It's going to be a lot easier by daylight when we don't have to worry about using flares. Or maybe we still do. Gas cylinder, pressurized cartridges. All this stuff helps us immensely, the specialized stuff. But I can hear that badness going on out there. Yep, just search the crate through the door, no problem. Oh, there's that radiation. Here it all comes. You know, on the one hand, you got common sense saying don't go into the anomalies. On the other, you got people telling me do go into the anomalies. And it really makes for a confusing time for me. Really, it seems like all we can do as a best bet is just kind of experiment with everything and hope for the best. Look, the air is thick with this stuff. It's actually gaining on us. I love this. I like that they're not just filling the environment with like monsters and enemies. It actually feels like it's the zone itself, the anomalies that are so dangerous and unpredictable. This thing seems to be moving to try and force our erratic driving. Seems like we just made it. Hey, are those intact power lines up there? Maybe we should have a look at what that's about. KFBS. The zone. Hang on, a zone radio station. Does it say what your channel is? I don't see it. We'll have to tinker with that later. We really gotta tinker with the radio more in general. I'm not somebody who usually like listens to the radio while driving in games. But in a game like this, there's probably good reason to do so. This thing might be heading this way. It might be a good idea to start heading south as soon as possible. But not before we've seen what's in here. You can always hear it approaching. That's the creepy thing. You always know it's on its way, and you are out of time. Alright, well, all I needed was a couple of things, and to map the route, so let's see if we can make it back. Right after we turn this thing around seems smarter. If anything, seeing these gates on the outside, 3 new gates, proves that this may be very fruitful in terms of opening up new routes to us, if I'm understanding this correctly. Let's do it. When this car starts lighting up with this, I can't help but feel that we've started our flux capacitor. Go around you. Around you. Oh, wow, they are really throwing all the meanies in our way. Come on, don't slide into them. That circle is fast shrinking. Oh, no, no, we don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. Nope, keep it straight, keep it straight. Okay, we actually kind of weathered that. Oh no, we're gonna have to go uphill. I should have stayed on the road. Alright, come on, we want to go up and then flatten out as soon as possible. Oh, we're crawling to the end. Go, 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 go. Alright, we made it. Anytime we have to go off-road, it's very hard to plan for that if you haven't scouted the area beforehand. But it looks like we made it.
But my, what's this? Are you learning a thing or two? My dear newbie, there's hope for you yet.
Why does your praise suddenly mean so much to me? Well, let's be real. To be honest, it's because of the three, you're the one I relate to the most. I actually haven't been too upset about anything you've been saying. But we are good to go. And let's check our route to see if that actually did what I hoped it would. It seems like it did, yes! Now we can set U, plan our route, and we'll go through E4 to get to E1. And that's all we need. The car looks like it's in fine shape for now. That spare tire will keep going for a little longer. And we can immediately head back out. Actually, wait. I forgot that I had scavenged so many big items. I probably should put some of them away. I'm getting the hang of this. And I think even if this game isn't necessarily taking advantage of everything it could have had going for it, it's still really cool in its own right. I think it's very important when you judge a game to not judge it too harshly based on not being able to change your expectations for it, and the same goes true for all media. Once you realize what it is, you should kind of change gears to, you can acknowledge what it could have done differently, but you should still try to appreciate it for what it's going for and not for what you think it should have gone for. So we are heading to E4. And we're really just gonna go back through the area we just went through. Now that there is a red line that I dare not cross. You're like some kind of saw anomaly. But I don't think you're gonna come for me. We'll just have to time it right. Can opener. Can anybody hear us? We're still inside the cabin. One of those things is tearing up the ground outside, and it doesn't stop. It went through Baxter like when you walk through tall grass. Like he wasn't there. Oh God, come in. Come in, Control. Can you hear us? You have to understand. They escaped containment. The anomalies escaped. They all escaped. So, these may have been directly created by your science. And maybe Cappy does have some things to answer for. I mean, that's the cool thing. We have artifacts of the zone itself, but then we have the ways humans tried to influence those artifacts for decades. Not all of it may be strictly man-made. And it's only now it sinks in just how horrifying that description actually is, like walking through tall grass. Well, if we make a right, we should be able to move on through. Yep. This might have some of the best weather effects I've ever seen in a game, honestly. Alright. Seems we've outrun the storm.
There's a whole lot standing between where we are and the deep zone. Like another wall, and the entire mid-zone, for starters. It's not as simple as driving there. We can't control the instability any more than we can control the weather. At the height of LIM R&D, thousands of us lived and worked here in the zone. So we built LIM stabilizers to make certain sectors and roads a little more predictable than others. It was the only way we could operate as a live research compound despite the instability. And yes, the same technology that destabilized the landscape in the first place. LIM technology was always a double-edged sword from the beginning. We're going to put those stabilizers to work and clear you a path. The old observation towers surrounding Sierra ought to have a map of the stabilizers in that sector. Mind swinging by and finding one?
All in on your research. Anything we can learn helps us. They wanted to get us through initially with as little information as possible, but it's becoming clear that in the pursuit of getting out of here, we're gonna learn a lot anyway, so we might as well give ourselves the best fighting chance possible, right? It's like the grinding sound of your metal somehow escaped and ran off into the woods. That was a strange sound. Okay, one of you right there. Oh, but there's a whole lot of nonsense surrounding you. We should make this brief. Come on, nope, don't let the door get in the way. Although I sort of like that the door is actually physicsy and can block me. Let's go. We still need the other one. Only two in the area that I can see. Yep. Don't get launched 600 feet in the air. I'll consider us lucky. And the fact that these things are just continuously opening up. And in the fog, it actually makes things difficult. This thing is really stacking its modifiers against me. In the end, I've just been turned around, maybe actually for the best. And the sun beating down through this fog, it's like absolutely blinding. I'm kind of interested in seeing what's over here on our right. Scrape around you. Launch construction facility. Oh, will there be enough of a gap for us to get the car in? It looks like it. But here's this stuff. It's completely consuming the structure. Alright, let's park over here, observe what that does, and then start scavenging. Need TP, trade for food. Good stuff. Oh, I'd still kill for a flashlight right about now. I've never tried these smaller food items. They'd probably be pretty helpful for tiny injuries like what we've got. What I'm really looking for is chemicals. We really, really need them for putty, and they can run out at a moment's notice. There we go. It's the kind of thing that you can, like, very easily let get away from you if you're not careful. Alright, let's keep an eye on you. How are you growing? A bit, but I'm also seeing that shimmer moving over there. Call me foolish. I was thinking maybe I could try to catch up to it. Suppose not. I think you're going out. There you go. Receiver. Okay, well, we'll start work on you in a moment. Hazmat cabinet. There we go. Oh yeah, we're really filling up now. It's all good. Like, you know, it's all things you think you don't need in a moment, but I have a feeling our needs are going to be increasing in the future, and you never know. But I'm telling you, I'd really like to get in there. Hot dust. We actually did get a scan. At present, the majority of radiation detected in the zone can be categorized as beta particles or gamma rays, behaving almost exactly as we would expect. Nevertheless, further study will still be required to explain the origin and highly variable intensity of this radiation, which is unlike anything previously documented. One particular kind of radiation frequently manifests as a highly localized phenomenon, with no apparent source or focus. and often displays changes in modes of behavior more consistent with cloud patterns. These radiation microclimates are increasingly common and vary in intensity from relatively weak to extremely concentrated. We've tried to discourage the use of the phrase, but local contractors have already taken to using the phrase hot dust to describe this unusual anomaly. While further study is obviously warranted, the extremely unpredictable activity and spontaneous appearance of this radiation has made examination extremely difficult. It is not currently a priority. Well, it's a priority for me. It's one of the biggest threats to me so far. Oh wow, we really need gas. Can we find someplace? There's one of you standing in our way as usual. And ooh, we may not have a lot of time. Look. This gas station is totally overtaken. Alright, we may have to knock down this fencing. No, I guess not. But I'm still worried about radiation here. Alright, grab you. Yes, I was right to be worried. Let's do this as quickly as we can. We are on the clock. And I hear things. Yeah, the last thing we need is further complications. Let me in. Let's just skirt around and try going over this bridge. Bridges, huh? So scenic, but in video games you can never really seem to trust them. I can hear Anomalous doing anomaly things beneath the bridge. It's a good thing we're on concrete where these things tend to not apply so much. Oh god. Go, 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 go. We actually have to get down here, I've realized. Yep. Let's see if we can swing her around. Thank you. Because we need to get over to one of these charge units. We need to grab you while we're out here, so we might as well. Yep. And... yep. Oh, these things are everywhere. Abductors, leave me alone. There you go. Yep, you always seem to come towards me when I pull these things. You don't like that. It's kind of like you're protecting them. Or that you want them for yourself. Up! Anomalies are sort of working for and against me in this moment. But it doesn't seem like that actually caused you to release in a timely manner. We took a bunch of damage there. But at least we got away. Alright, now it's time to start making our way back up the road. One thing that's really interesting about this game so far is the interactions between anomalies, or rather how they all interact to form my encounters. Because in this case, it was something where, you know, that abductor was trying to grab me, but me being launched by the geysers and it being launched by the, I forget what you call those lifty things. It really made it difficult for it. I kinda don't want to try moving past you. My god, I swear this place was more dirt than paved road. But that should be our objective up ahead. Oh, a nice tower. High ground is always a good way to observe our surroundings.
The towers are locked up tight, but you could tighten up security protocols all day, only for one disgruntled employee to program in his name for fun and mess it all up. Anyway, the overload code is 4735. Find that stabilizer map and scan it for me.
Oh boy. I was assigned to clean these towers out every time the guards rotated.
And things I saw. Let's just say that keeping a watch on Sierra day in and day out did not make for a good time. I didn't envy those guards one bit.
So you were the cleanup crew after Voices of the Void, huh? Do my base next. I'd want to hear your story. But yeah, this Oppie, she reminds me both in voice and attitude so much of Mallory Archer. Well, here we are. Stabilizer map.
I got it. I'm overlaying the map with the available routes near you.
Excellent.
There you go. Found 3 sector stabilizers that'll do the job. They're not too far, so I've added the location to your route. The access road will lead you straight there once you're ready.
Alright, we're making progress. This whole thing was a lot easier than I thought. But then again, maybe we're done taking big risks. There's no way. For a moment, my mind went straight to bears. But then again, maybe I'm a little bit too worried given this game's obvious annihilation influences. Oh god, can you imagine? Yep. You're really making this difficult for me, huh? You'll never allow me to just stay on the road. And for as beat up as we're getting, this is probably more off-road capability than this vehicle should actually have. Seems like we've almost made it to our destination, though. I mean, at a certain point, why don't we just find a way to move around in the pipes? It would probably be safer. Not really. It's just wishful thinking. Still, when the sun peeks over those trees, you can't help but appreciate the drive, can you? And let's just get rid of that waypoint. We don't need it. There it is. The fact that we've been playing with kids stuff up until this point has me real nervous. The deep zone. Can't wait to see what that's like.
There can be a bit of a maze. If you get lost, follow the pipes. The limb tech in those stabilizers ran so damn hot, only more limb tech could contain it from complete meltdown.
So that's what this is. It actually is related, as I had speculated on before. These aren't oil, it's more of what you were doing here. Okay, wow, we have a lot of objectives to hit here. And unfortunately, I am all out of time, so that's going to have to wait until next time.
It's my turn to give you an explanation about the mass hallucination event that Tobias and Francis were going on about. But don't worry, I won't be nearly as long-winded, because there honestly isn't much that we know about it. It happened on the morning of September 14th, 1961. My colleague, Dr. James Kay, was conducting experiments at a highly classified site in the Deep Zone. He was assisted by my husband, Dr. Alan Turner. At 0400, their experiment unleashed a gamma-ray surge that instantly killed both of them. The surge was an impossible amount of energy, orders of magnitude greater than any man-made source. It also triggered hallucinations in anyone awake within a 10-mile radius. It was a burst of widespread insanity, but only for a short moment.
So, given all that you just told us, I'm surprised. Had you mentioned your husband before? maybe your attitude is you needing to make it mean something. I mean, the alternative would have been to abandon this entirely, and you surely haven't gone in that direction. Well, maybe through all this we can make it mean something, but that'll have to wait until next time. The mysteries here are getting much, much spookier. It's starting to become clear that even though this was man-made, there's so much that we don't understand about it that maybe there is some guiding force. Maybe we have created something that's much more than the sum of its strange parts. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. I swear I just heard something out there. Well, we've got work to do. Hey guys, I'm just recording this from like way in the future because there's a couple of things that have been bothering me, and I just want to talk about them like before we get further on in this series. Now, at the time I'm recording this, I'd probably done like 7-8 episodes or something like that. I'm not sure how it's gonna cut together at this stage. And as I've gone through this and learned about all the different anomalies and tools and best practices and all that stuff, and this game is all about learning, and I want to emphasize that, I've also gotten to watch myself play, and that's been like both gratifying to see how far I've come, and it's also kind of filling me with dread because I know this is going to be one of those games that the comments are just filled with an unholy amount of backseating, which I suppose is actually kind of appropriate given the setting. But I just want to say that, like, you know, this is a game that is very much vibes-based. The kind of thing that you take at your own pace, and that's what I've done. So please, just let me enjoy it. We're going to get there. I am going to figure these things out, and, like, I would not have been happier having information, like, just, like, stated to me all throughout. I realize now it's even more appropriate because this addendum is basically me preemptively turning around and saying, we get there when we get there. But look at this, like, I'm using downgraded tools, stashing some stuff in the car, specifically to avoid spoilers on some of the items. You want to see my car? You can't. You can't even see the inside because it is chock full of spoilers. But I just want to say, like, you know, we will get there. Don't worry. Now, that said, I didn't make this video just to say that, just to preempt that whole mess. I did it because I also want to talk about, like, the way series are done a little bit, because I feel like with this one it helps to understand that. And I want to talk about, like, something I might do with this series. I'm still thinking about it. There we go. Imagine if as it rolled past someone staring up at us. So what I was thinking about doing is actually taking the episodes that I have and condensing them, because some of them came out fairly short. I might combine episodes. And it's not because I want to get through this quickly. Like, I'm in no rush with the game itself. I am absolutely loving it. And that's another thing I want to reassure you with, is that, like, I am not and have never been really the least bit frustrated with this. This is an amazing experience. And even when things go, like, suboptimally, it's got this thing to it where, like, I always feel motivated. I always come back to base with, like, a million different ideas for, like, new things I want to build and try. No, the reason why I want to condense these things is simply because, like, on a purely, like, timetable space, there's a million of your suggestions and a million series that I want to get to. And at a certain point, you know, I've been doing, like, 7-day-a-week uploads for this entire year, sometimes even more than that. And there's just a lot of things I want to get to, so I want to... Yeah, I could have predicted that. I just really want the time to be able to do as many series that you guys want as possible this year. And so, I mean, I don't usually do this, but, you know, this whole thing is kind of like, don't bully me, please, so I might as well give you something. I want to play Dead Space, and I want to play it soon, the remake, I mean, because I have heard amazing things about it, both from my friend Matthew and my girlfriend Elster are both raving about it, and I can't wait to see what they did. Something you might ask, like, in response to my earlier comments is, well, like, if it's such a slow burn learning all this stuff, then why don't you do it like you've done other series before, where you take it episode by episode, and then you can get advice in between parts? I love doing that, and that has been extremely useful for things like Super Mario B3313 and especially Voices of the Void. I couldn't do it without that. For stuff like this, I simply could not maintain the 7-day-a-week upload schedule if I didn't preload these things. In fact, I will not release a series unless I already have at least 5 episodes like recorded and edited beforehand. It's just not economical, it's just not possible to do it that quickly. But if you don't want to worry about min-maxing and like the optimal path through the game, and just want to take this, being experienced for the first time, which is like what I always try to do on this channel, then I think you're going to like this series, because this game is so cool. Both in terms of atmospherics and in gameplay, it's a tremendous amount of fun.